Now, Pope Francis's Middle East trip was supposed to be a purely religious one, but a surprise stop at the wall that separates Israelis and Palestinians in Bethlehem was a step into politics. He stood there for several minutes under an Israeli watchtower saying a prayer. On the barrier, a scrawled message, "Free Palestine." Earlier, the pontiff referred directly to the state of Palestine and reinforced that point by travelling straight to the occupied West Bank from Jordan rather than going via Israel. Now Pope Francis is inviting the Israeli and Palestinian presidents to the Vatican. Nick Schifrin joins us live from Jerusalem, where the Pope is headed to at this moment. Nick, this really wasn't supposed to be a political trip, purely a religious one, the Vatican says. But here we have this very significant invitation to the Palestinian and the Israeli leaders to go to the Vatican.
Yeah, Laura, you're absolutely right. In fact, Francis himself said this was going to be a purely religious visit. Clearly, he's changed his mind. And inviting President Perez from Israel and President Mahmoud Abbas from the Palestinian Authority, clearly an attempt to step right into the Middle East peace process, and clearly an attempt that he thinks he can make a difference. Now, we are just getting word of an official Israeli response to that invitation. And for that, I'm going to bring in Paul Hirschen. He's a spokesman for the Israeli foreign minister. So, is President Perez going to accept this invitation?
I've just been informed that yes, he is. He has accepted. I believe he'll be traveling in the next few weeks to the Vatican.
And why is that significant? Is there a sense that President Perez, President Abbas, and the Pope can make a difference when it comes to peace talks?
You know, I think it's a little bit early. The Pope, as we've just seen a few seconds ago, is still in the air flying over Jerusalem right now. The invitation was for a gathering to pray for peace, and we'll have to see how that pans out. But President Perez has said that he'll look for, and Israel looks for, any opportunity to progress the peace process.
We saw a very significant visit by Pope Francis to Bethlehem. He became the first pope to fly directly to Bethlehem rather than go through Israel first. He refers to the state of Palestine, and he stopped by the separation wall in images that are being spread around. What is Israel's response to that use of the word state of Palestine in his visit to the wall?
Well, I don't think the use of the word State of Palestine is that significant. Obviously, we don't agree, but it's not new. The Vatican adopted that terminology back in 2012 when the United Nations General Assembly voted to give the Palestinians a non-member observer status. As to the visit to the security barrier, you know, it's okay. We're not taking it personally. We understand that the Palestinians wanted to politicize what is really a spiritual journey. So they've done their thing, and he's here for a visit. We're very, very happy to have him here.
And you have requested certain things of the Pope, visits that the Israeli foreign ministry, Israeli officials have requested of him in Jerusalem. Has he said yes to those visits, and what are the significant visits that he's going to make here in this city?
We have very, very warm, strong, growing relations, we, Israel, and the Vatican. And a number of the visits are pure protocol. A number of them are a little bit more than that. He'll be meeting, obviously, with the President. He'll be meeting with the Prime Minister, 2 private meetings that he'll be having. He's going also to the grave of Theodor Herzl, laying a wreath there, the founder of the modern Zionist movement for the renaissance of the Jewish people and the creation of our homeland here. He'll be visiting Yad Vashem, the memorials of the Holocaust, as it were, in Jerusalem, and he's here on a spiritual journey. There's a lot of Christian elements, a religious pilgrimage that both tonight and tomorrow that he's participating in.
And Laura, that gives you a sense. Clearly, Palestinian officials very happy with the visit in Bethlehem, but that does not mean, as we just heard, that Israeli officials are unhappy with what he did, and they are excited clearly about the next 20 hours or so of his time in Jerusalem.
Yeah, Nick, and as we just heard from the spokesman there, we must remember that this trip is not supposed to be focused on politics, so we must also remember to bring in other aspects to it. And the next item on the Pope's agenda is what the Vatican is calling the highlight of his 3-day tour of the Mideast.
No, this is the most significant event of the trip, according to them. He's going to go about 500 meters here into the Old City to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That's where Jesus is believed to have been buried and resurrected. And he's going to have a meeting with the head of the Orthodox Christian Church. Now, 50 years ago, exactly this month, the Pope met with the head of the Orthodox Church. That was the first meeting after 900 years. Pope Francis today is celebrating that 50th anniversary and continuing that message, talking about interfaith harmony, talking about interfaith unity. And if you listen to his messages, not only today in Tel Aviv, but also in Bethlehem, that is the message that he is spreading, not only for the Palestinians and the Israelis, but within the church itself, or rather between the Catholic and the Orthodox churches, Laura.